So, what of you have been wondering, what are you going to do with your life in the threatening? Well, I have been elsewheres in God, and I don't know you as Dad, Hans, G. Period, Moser, and Associates. What are you? You're an ask hooker, and you made the whole world into ask hookers. And you have one problem: you are a child molester. You're not allowed to be an ask hooker after you've been a child molester and you don't know who you hurt. That's somebody needing to be an ask hooker to yourself, and that's Donna. I'm sure that she knows everything about your money problems because you're a child molester to myself, and I am not a child, did not see it. But you are a sex offender, is how you are alive in my house, is illegal. It's just that way. It's alive that way. Unfortunately, I cannot locate Hans, G. Moser and Associates, Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. You are so hard removed from my house. You're an ask hooker to God. Can I please die out of my karma? Because I don't think I have any substance for all the damages I did cause myself, because he did not mean to hurt himself the way he did. But I don't know how he hurt himself because Mom just said he had a heart attack. Well, he had one before when I was in the house. Mom took me to the hospital to see Dad before his surgery, but I'm not in leverage for him to have surgery and come back to my house and put me out of creations all, and I died out of my genitals with a completely mutilated body. Are we sure that Dad was supposed to be known that he's in the hospital? Why would I know that he's in the hospital? Are you having trouble getting by that you can't just tell me where you are and ask me where I'm going? Can you tell me where you are and ask me where I'm going? Can you tell me where you are and ask me where I'm going? Because it's not going anywhere right here, right now. That means I'm deceased in the threatening. And maybe you have been put out of your identity crisis. Yes, but you're still charging food money, and I still have a little remains of felony on my record. Hans G. Moser and Associates, Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. I'm not sure how this involves myself, but he says that I'm a little effect of him needing to be employed, and I don't think so because I didn't ask him what do you do for a living, because I was writing the paychecks as a 6-year-old. I was younger than that when I asked. Well, I was 3 years old when I found him, turning 4. Yeah, 3 years old, nursery school when I found him in my house. And then sometime I was in the car, but I sat in the front. I usually sit in the back. Yeah, I used to sit in the back. I had to sit with a seat belt around my lap that didn't go over the shoulder, so it sits in the back and it has a seat belt. Well, I asked him, what do you do for a living? And I'm seeing myself in the front seat, but I don't sit there because the seat belt doesn't go around myself at that size. Not till later. I have to grow. But I asked him, what do you do for a living? Because I want to know how he paid for his fuel. Because the car was moving at the time, he was driving at the time when I said it. How'd you get the gas money? I didn't give it to him. I'm not able to pump gas at that size. So I want to say I was about 4 years old. Yeah, maybe, but I can't be sure. That was a long time ago. So that would have been in 1981, maybe. Okay, but I was sitting in the front seat of the car, but how can that be? Because it sits in the back. I sit in the back seat in the back with a lap seat belt that goes around the lap. Okay, on to the next subject. What is the threatening we are in right now? Because I am waiting for food to be delivered today, and it's past the time when it would be delivered. So I had a snack, I had some French fries, and I had a dreamsicle. I need more food ingestion tonight unless I go to sleep for a long sleep. Then I don't need the food. So, what should we do? Should we go to sleep for a long sleep and then I don't need the food? Or should I make another video and then I get food for that? But you are really something like not reliable to bring me the food. Well, I need that you just leave it outside the front door and that I open the door and I find it there. Are you telling me that food wouldn't be sitting there like it was an Amazon package with this robe in it, for example? Well, you have a freshness problem. You have some food that needs refrigeration at all times until you need to throw it out because it does rot in the refrigerator. It has expiry on it. So I would like to say that I need the food delivered, but I don't need it today. I would maybe need it tomorrow. And then if I don't get it tomorrow, I would need it the next day. And then I'm really under too much pressure because I don't have enough to drink and enough to eat. I need a little extra at this point because I'm past the emergency it was to myself. It looks like at this time it's an emergency to you. How are you going to get the food to me and take care of all of your mental requirements from elsewhere? Do you have certain social disgraces problems? No. It's interesting that you would have them, but you don't really have them because I am the Essex. And you don't have social disgraces because I'm alive, but I find you do them right to myself, and you don't know how to get just one of you into prison and hold it there. Parole is only for if somebody is inside of a prison and they made a shunt. Then they have to go out of the prison to get the shunt they made in public. They know who and where and how, and they know when. And they do it and go back into the prison because they want to stay there. You can't be somebody who wants to get out of a prison on parole because you want to go back into society. That's not what parole is for. So, who are you if you're in public and you make a shunt? How can you make a shunt of a human being in public and you stay in public? If you are in prison and you made a shunt and it was in the public, you need parole. You need to let yourself out of the prison, find the shunt that you made, and you need to bring it back to the prison because you have keys to let it in and it will go in because you open the door for it and it goes in. If you're below that, you don't have any sort of candor to make a shunt in the public. You don't afford it. You can't make a shunt of a human being and be yourself after that. You don't afford it. and you have 30 billion shots on your criminal record for you to be able to see even just this video.